That Mike Tyson, at least for a round or two,
first time he
Mike
gets
Tyson.
cracked, it's gonna, I guarantee you, his head's gonna be like, oh shit.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
How many rounds is it?
I think it's 8.
Yeah.
Boxing World reacts after Canelo Alvarez knocked out in sparring before Crawford fight. Shockwaves rippled across the boxing scene as whispers turned into headlines. If Canelo is touching the canvas in sparring, imagine the danger he faces against a pound-for-pound technician like Crawford. This isn't just a setback, it's a red flag.
Hold him right down the middle, straight right, and knocked him down again. And that one to finish him was big shot, man. And I saw
Johnny Nelson highlights what truly shook him. It wasn't just Canelo's power, but the raw confidence he carried into the gym. Confidence is vital, but against Crawford, misplaced belief can be fatal. Nelson's words remind us, swagger alone won't dismantle a technician of Bud's caliber.
And that's what probably surprised, probably what surprised me more than anything was the confidence that he had. He was getting it with me. You know, I was world champion at that point. And this young man came in and he really just...
And from there, Derek Chisora had a very different take on sparring knockdowns. Derek Chisora tries brushing it off, saying sparring knockdowns don't matter. But come on, Canelo isn't some rookie learning on the job. He's meant to be a pound-for-pound star, yet he's kissing the canvas before fight night. Meanwhile, Crawford sharpens steel on steel, mentally unshaken, physically primed, and ready to expose him.
Because that's only sparring. If you get dropped in sparring, it means you're learning. And tomorrow morning, you don't get dropped in the same shot. So him getting dropped in sparring, that means he's learning on the job. So it's okay. Who cares? Alexander usually gets dropped in sparring, but he's learning on the job.
Crawford says it best, if he was too small or untested, Canelo wouldn't need an army of sparring partners. Yet even with all that help, he's still getting laid out in the gym. Bud's calm confidence exposes the truth. Canelo already respects him, and come fight night, excuses won't save him.
What is there to talk about? You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it serious. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how much he respects me. Because, you know, if I haven't fought anyone, if I was too small, if I was, you know, all these things that all the media say I was, then he wouldn't need these guys to help prepare him to fight me. He wouldn't, you know, need all the help that, you know, he's getting. But I'm happy that he's getting the help that he needs because, you know, after, you know, September 13th, there'll be no excuses.
Frank Warren also chimed in, assessing exactly what kind of danger Canelo is in. Frank Warren admits Canelo can punch, but so what? Power means nothing when you're chin-checking the canvas in sparring. Crawford's not just world class, he's a once-in-a-generation technician. Warren's words remind us, raw power can't beat ring IQ, and Bud will dismantle Canelo the same way he's done with every so-called puncher before.
But I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get him in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. You know, he's a puncher, you've seen him do it, and he's done it with well.
Shannon Briggs tries to soften the blow, comparing Canelo's sparring knockdowns to slips he's taken in the past. But let's be real, this isn't a rookie heavyweight prospect we're talking about. This is Canelo Alvarez, the supposed face of boxing, the self-proclaimed pound-for-pound star, and he's hitting the floor in sparring. That's not just a stumble, that's a crack in the armor. Briggs might be trying to normalize it, but fans aren't blind. Getting dropped in sparring against a lesser-known partner, just weeks out from facing a technician like Terence Crawford, is more than a red flag. It's a siren. Meanwhile, Crawford isn't the one being whispered about. He's not the one needing excuses. He's locked in, razor sharp, unbothered, and ready. If Canelo can't even keep his feet steady in the gym, how's he going to survive the precision and timing Bud brings under the brightest lights?
Been dropped in the ring, in the gym and stuff like that, but that's okay too, because I took a couple spills, you know, little slips in the ring, in the gym. That's okay, but we're gonna see. This is gonna be a good fight.
And Buddy McGirt nailed the point when he explained what really decides this kind of fight. Buddy McGirt lays it out plain. The fight will be decided in the deep waters. And let's face it, who thrives when things get rough, tactical, and mentally draining? Terence Crawford. He's a master of dragging opponents into uncomfortable territory, reading them, breaking them down, and closing the show. Canelo, on the other hand, is showing cracks before the first bell even rings. If you're getting floored in sparring, you're not built for deep waters. You're struggling to stay afloat in the shallow end. Crawford has proven time and again that late rounds are his playground. He sharpens his timing, grows stronger, and dissects fighters who thought they could weather the storm. Canelo won't be walking him down like fated opposition. He'll be drowning in Bud's patience and precision. McGirt's words ring true. Deep waters favor Crawford, and Canelo's already sinking before he even sets foot in the ring.
Yeah, he's got to go to the deep waters. You know, I mean, unless somebody slips up and get caught early. But, you know, we gotta get him into the deep waters. That's the key.
Coach Spikes couldn't be clearer. Canelo is going to feel Crawford's power and be forced to respect him. That's the reality many Canelo fans don't want to face. He's used to bullying opponents, walking forward with that plodding pressure, but Bud isn't someone you just walk down. The sparring stories are proof. Canelo's chin isn't untouchable, his aura isn't bulletproof, and when he faces Crawford's blend of speed, timing, and intelligence, he'll realize it's not just about strength, it's mental warfare. Bud is the kind of fighter who gets stronger when others break, who finds openings when others panic. If Canelo's already wobbling behind closed doors, imagine his reaction when Crawford's surgical counters start landing under the bright lights. Respect won't save him, pride won't save him. Spikes is right, it's mental, and nobody in boxing is mentally sharper than Terence Crawford.
This is going to be the key in this. Punching power, speed, timing, all that's good. But it's a mental game. This and this is what's going to carry us through that night.
Eddie Hearn tells it straight, this is a bad fight for Canelo. Forget the excuses about legacy or weight classes. What matters is that he's risking everything against a man who has mastered the art of dismantling opponents. Losing to Crawford won't just be another L on his record. It will expose the illusion of invincibility that still surrounds him. Fans have already seen Canelo struggle with slick movers and sharp technicians, and Crawford is the pound-for-pound king of both. Getting sparked in sparring only reinforces what many already suspect. Canelo is slowing down, he's hittable, and he's about to face someone who doesn't miss. Hearn might soften it by saying the money makes sense, but let's not kid ourselves. The optics of losing to a smaller man will haunt Canelo. For Crawford, though, it's the ultimate statement, moving up and taking out the so-called face of boxing.
Terence, well, one, do you think if Canelo loses, it hurts anything to his legacy?
No, Canelo's an all-time great. He's an incredible fighter. And look, I actually think this is a bad fight for him because you're losing to a 147, obviously 154 now. But the money's the money, and he was never going to turn it.
And Jarrell Miller added his own support for Bud, making it clear where his loyalty lies. Jarrell Miller sums up what the boxing world is slowly realizing: Crawford is hungrier, sharper, and far more dangerous than Canelo at this stage. People still underestimate Bud's physicality, but Miller is right. Strength isn't just about muscles, it's about the will to impose yourself, and Crawford has that edge in spades. Canelo, once feared for his relentless pressure, is now being doubted after getting dropped in sparring. Hunger beats comfort, and Canelo looks far too comfortable while Crawford is preparing like a man possessed. Miller's support isn't just fan talk, it's an informed take on a fighter who has shown time after time that size doesn't stop him, legacy doesn't intimidate him, and hype doesn't distract him. If Canelo thinks he can rely on old habits, he's mistaken. Bud's got the skills, the drive, and the mentality to not just win, but dominate.
Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people's underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though, but I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
And lastly, quick.
Stephen Edwards lays down a truth every boxing fan needs to remember. No chin is unbreakable. Sure, Canelo has built a reputation on being durable, but durability means nothing when whispers are circulating about you hitting the canvas in sparring. If you're falling behind closed doors, what happens under the bright lights against the sharpest pound-for-pound fighter alive? Crawford has proven he can hurt bigger men, he can outthink punchers, and he can dismantle fighters who thought they were too tough to be broken. Edwards is right. Canelo's chin can't be treated undefeated as some myth that will carry him through this storm. All it takes is one well-timed shot from Bud, and the aura of invincibility shatters. And unlike sparring partners, Crawford doesn't let you off the hook. When he smells blood, he closes the show. Canelo might believe his granite chin will hold, but if sparring is any clue, that belief could crumble in front of the whole world.
I always said I like Crawford from the very beginning of the fight.
You think you can hurt him?
Yep. Anybody could be hurt in a fight. Canelo got a great chin though, but anybody could be hurt on any given night. Don't ever think a guy can't be hurt, man.
Duke McKenzie nails it. Jumping up in weight isn't some impossible task for Crawford. It's an opportunity, and the way Bud carries himself, it's clear he doesn't just believe he can do it, he knows it. Confidence backed by skill is lethal, and Crawford's confidence isn't like Canelo's. It's not hollow bravado hiding sparring scars. It's rooted in mastery. Moving up gives Crawford strength, stamina, and a new dimension to his already elite arsenal. McKenzie's prediction of Crawford winning on points is logical. Crawford's timing, adaptability, and precision mean he can dominate rounds, rack up control, and leave Canelo chasing shadows. And let's not forget, Canelo has slowed down in recent fights, plodding through rounds, struggling to adjust when opponents don't stand still. Crawford won't just move, he'll punish. The sparring knockdown only adds fuel. If Canelo's balance and timing are faltering in the gym, how can he last 12 rounds against a fighter who calculates every second like Crawford? Bud isn't slowing down, he's only getting sharper.
You can give weight away, okay? But there's not a difference in class, in my opinion, in this fight. Canelo is not head and shoulders above Crawford in terms of class. If there is a class difference, it'll be in Crawford's favor. I think Crawford's much more classier.
Carl Froch is right to call this a monster fight, but let's be clear, the monster in this equation isn't Canelo, it's Crawford. Froch frames it as a clash of two giants, but one of those giants is already showing cracks. Getting knocked out in sparring is humiliating, and it strips away the aura of invincibility Canelo has clung to for years. Meanwhile, Crawford enters unbeaten, untouchable, and with momentum on his side. Froch asks if this is the biggest fight in boxing, and it absolutely is, but not because it's competitive, it's because the face of boxing is about to be dethroned by a man who many already consider the true pound-for-pound king. Crawford isn't just stepping into a new weight class, he's stepping into history, and if sparring is any preview, he's stepping in ready to dominate. Froch builds the hype, but fans know the truth. Bud's skill set makes this less a monster fight for him and more a nightmare for Canelo.
Crawford coming up to 168 to take on Canelo Alvarez really is one to look forward to. It's a monster fight. But is this the biggest fight in boxing? I mean, it's a big fight, isn't it? Would you say that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford's the biggest fight? Two of the biggest names in boxing, that's for sure. Terence Crawford's unbeaten. Obviously, we know what Canelo Alvarez is all about. We know what he's done. If he retired tomorrow, then he'd go down as an ultimate, like one of the best to ever do it. And so he's big. I mean, you've got to try and compare it with someone.
And Robert Garcia put it bluntly, breaking down why Crawford has more than just a chance. Robert Garcia doesn't sugarcoat it. Crawford has all the tools to beat Canelo. Talent, speed, and IQ are the very ingredients that have exposed Canelo in the past, and Crawford masters them like few ever have. Fans still living off the idea of Canelo as an unbeatable knockout machine should take a hard look at reality. He's slowing down, he's getting outboxed more often, and he's being humbled in sparring. Garcia highlights that with a perfect fight, Crawford can win on points. But the truth is, Bud rarely needs perfect. His adaptability makes him dangerous because he doesn't have to win every moment. He just needs to solve you, and once he does, the fight is his. If Canelo can't even hold his ground against sparring partners, what chance does he stand against a fighter who thrives on breaking elite champions down? Garcia gives Crawford a chance, but many already see it as more than that. It's an inevitability.
That's why a lot of people think Canelo is going to knock out Crawford, but I'm probably one of the only ones that I do give Crawford a chance. Yeah. I think Crawford could pull it off. Crawford is very talented. He's very fast. He's very smart in the ring. So I think a perfect fight, Crawford could pull off a decision.
This fight isn't just about belts or records, it's about legacy, pride, and the truth behind the hype. Canelo Alvarez, once the sport's golden boy, now walks into the ring carrying whispers of being floored in sparring, his aura cracked before the first bell. On the other side stands Terence Bud. Crawford, unbeaten, unbothered, and unshaken, treating this not as a risk, but as destiny. If Crawford wins, he doesn't just move up and claim victory, he cements himself as the undisputed pound-for-pound king of this era. If Canelo somehow shocks the world, it will be survival, not dominance, and even then his flaws are laid bare. The question isn't just who's stronger, it's who's hungrier, who's mentally sharper, and who refuses to break when the storm hits. So we ask you, are you backing Crawford to rise as boxing's true king, or is Canelo about to pull the upset? Drop your thoughts below.